Here we go. Alright, this is, well, I've decided that the only way to, solve problems involving mechanism is with, well, mechanism. So I got finished producing, a lot of fuel, well, DT fuel, and I'm gonna run the fusion reactor for a bit. Right now, as you can see, it's driving the turbine, and the turbine's putting out 480 something and climbing. I'm kind of curious about the end climbing part. I wonder what it's going to top off at. But regardless, I'm capable of holding 3.2 tera FEs. It shouldn't really, well, those of you who remember the reactor from a couple episodes ago, the fusion reactor is like like about 4 or 5 times that. So with that in mind, let's get to finishing a few of these components for Immersive Engineering, starting with this fluid outlet. I can flood an area with it. I'm kind of curious what I'm going to need to. Now I should still have a few... do I really not have those iron cages that I used to use all the time for power? Oh, and I need, speaking of iron stuff, I need iron too. That's embarrassing. I feel like I've been caught up with my pants down, so to speak. So the fluid outlet's a relatively simple thing to make. Let's see if I've got it. Ah, there they are. Yeah, I did put them in the QIO storage set because they take up more than more than one stack. Now I don't know whether I'm going to need these components or not, but I might as well have them and not use them than not have them and need them. So there. Another question is the fluid router. Oh brother, speaking of not having stuff and needing it, this is going to sound kind of off, but I'm going to start the production line here, and then yeah, I should be able to get iron bars out of that, or iron ingots out of that. But in the meantime, well, I'll smelt enough that I need. Like one of these worth. I also need redstone. I probably have the other two things here, an iron mechanical component and a fluid pipe. Mostly because of quest rewards. Let me see. I didn't know I already had a couple of iron sheets, but I don't have any redstone on me. I don't have any fluid pipes either. That's kind of distressing. I'm wondering where they all... Wait a minute. What if I put... Ah, I knew I had them somewhere. Should have known about the engineer's toolbox. Okay, I'm gonna go grab some redstone then. Only got a little bit of it, but that's because most of it's in block form. And there's the fluid router. Of course, there's also an item router. And for that I need a conveyor belt. Do I have any conveyor belts left over? another one of those things where I don't see how I couldn't have one. Yeah, it's another thing I've been getting on, heading as a quest reward. I'm gonna run out of these eventually, though. There's the item router. Just put all this stuff somewhere out of the way. And what was the other thing? An item batcher. Oh, and I'm gonna need to build a whole electronic component for that. Let me see, how much of this have I don't have a lot of stuff. Do I? That I need. Well, so the real hitch here is the electrum wire. I do have a spare ingot of electrum though, but I'm gonna need more of it. Let's see, do I still have the... Yeah. Okay, I still got the metal press mold I need in there. There we go. Let's go over here to the engineer's workbench. Yeah, this is the right... what else did I need in here? I thought so. Yeah, I knew I needed... I suspected I needed nether quartz. You know what you're all thinking. Why don't you just build an AE computer system? Well, technically, or better yet, why don't I just put all of my stuff in the QIO system? Well, the problem with doing that is that it's very resource intensive. You know what I mean? It requires such things as polonium, which I really can't spare. I'll just yoink that right out of there. Oh, P.S. This was the old energy cell, the blazing energy cell, which I had a really, really long time ago. I put it somewhere in my power setup as a backup storage cell, and promptly forgot about it until I was building that reactor from power. And so I figured I might as well put it to some use. After all, I'm pretty sure the induction matrix outclasses it pretty badly. So that's that's the last 4 components done, 4 quests done. So, well, let's see. I wonder how many conveyor belts I got. Horizontal and vertical. That was 16 of them. Not expecting that. I thought it's like 4 to 8 or something. Oh well, too late to go back and check. Loot box. Now those are always good for, well, bullets. Yeah, for those of you who aren't entirely sure yet, that's why I went and built the QIO system in the first place, or at least one of the reasons anyway. Oh, speaking of which, there. And this thing, a powered lantern. Well, I don't want to use a powered lantern because I don't want to use power for something that mundane. Still, if I need it as a component, then I might as well have it there. I'm kind of curious if I'm going to need it as a component, though. And the last one of these. Oops. Alright. Yeah, this makes me practically swear by this thing. That I got all these bullets. I got like thousands of them. But on the alternate side of that, I'm wondering if maybe... There's a question here for an actual gun, so I'm thinking maybe those bullets are going to be of some use at some point. Let's put this here for now. Okay, enough about that. Let's talk power, which I'm actually pronouncing like that. But yet, the windmill. kind of weak, but and it's going to require a lot of treated wood. How much treated wood? Well, let's see. 8 of these, and these 4 I think represent 2 planks. 2 plus 3 is 5 times 8 is 40, which is kind of a lot. Should have some wood in my QIO system though. Do. I might as well make it like a job lot of this. Now I'm gonna need coal, but the way the pyrolyzer works, I'm glad I don't have to use the actual coke furnace here, is 1 block of coal makes 5 buckets. And I suppose there really was a method to my madness of I've taken all these buckets. Look how many of these I got. But I actually need them. Come to think of it, I might only need the 5. 5 times 8 is 40. Yeah. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this this block here and put it in the pyrolyzer. I just realized something. There's not enough tank space. Alright, I'm going to implement kind of an on-the-fly solution here. Because I do have fluid cells. And so what I can do is let me see, calibrate this such that the back is an output. Then I'm going to put this fluid cell, assuming I can actually get to this. Okay, there. Yeah, and then the back of this should be an input, or at least an exchange. How well this actually does remains to be seen. Fortunately, I got this done in time. I think if I max out this, it'll just give me 4 buckets as opposed to the 5 I need here. I forget exactly how much I use in the coke oven. Maybe they're both equal, I don't know. Gotta keep on top of that. Come on. 5 out of 4. Okay, that was a little bit off. Make them all input. Really? That didn't work? I guess I'm gonna have to oh, I'm full on space too. Let me just get this out of the way. I guess I'm gonna have to use Mekanism pipes then. I'm a bit surprised that that actually worked. But okay. Here's hoping I don't make any chests by accident. I don't really need them now that I've got all these backpacks that I keep finding in dungeon raids. Just don't want to accidentally make one of these things, a fluid drawer. I don't exactly... I think there are quests for a drawer-based system. Problem is QIO kind of outclasses that sort of thing. Okay, so I got more than I need. Anyway, I'll need 8 sets, I guess you'd call them, of sticks. And there. then spread these out. Voila, 8 windmill blades. I'll just grab that stray bit of iron I took out there. There's the windmill, but the windmill by itself does not generate electricity. What it actually does is this kinetic dynamo, which I can't find on this on the JAI. Oh, here it is. Now I need a iron mechanical component. I got that, but I don't have a copper core block. How many LV? Don't have those either. It figures. The one thing I need the most I don't really have. Or rather, I didn't really get a lot of in rewards. Oh, I'm sure there's some way I can take this philosophically. So I need 4 sets of copper wire. Which means 2 copper ingots. Do I have any copper lying around? I got copper lying around, but I suppose the real question is how much do I have in that one backpack? I think I still have a... Let me just actually turn it on this time instead of reusing residual power from the pipes. There we go. Shut this off. It only takes power when it's actually doing something. I'll combine that with the other 4 that I've got here. And somewhere along the line I gotta remember to put this this iron dust back. It's not like I really need it now. What am I missing? Oh, right. Another iron mechanical components. You make these components at the engineer's desk. Now, Immersive Engineering is a relatively low power mod, because it's diesel punk. Or would you call it diesel punk? I'm not sure. And since the kinetic dynamo was already checked off, let's see, the water wheel, I think is the next most powerful, or at least it's implied because it needs steel at the center of it instead of just at the center of it instead of just a plain old iron ingot. I don't have any copper. Well, I guess that's the next thing I ought to do. Got all this raw copper lying around. Actually, I don't have that either. This is concerning. I'll have to use the digital miner to dig out copper, which sounds kind of unusual. I guess I shouldn't count it as too unusual, but I'm going to leave that until I actually need copper, which shouldn't be too long. Okay, I need 4 of these. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again. Well, as long as I'm on the subject of generating more creosote oil, or sorry, making more creosote oil, you need another. Actually, I think I only need 20 of these. But let me get a. I got like a ton of basic mechanical pipes. So Mechanism saves the day once again. There doesn't seem to be an auto eject here. wonder, should I put the tank, like, up here somewhere? Like that. Then I'll set it to pull from there and push to there. And that should make it so the next time it makes creosote, it'll put it in the tank instead. I forget exactly how many episodes ago I last made a polonium pellet, but it's been like tens of thousands of seconds. Now an hour is 3,600. No, excuse me this. I'm just trying to check up on the turbine, make sure everything's still working there. Maybe I'm just paranoid that way. While we're waiting on that, insulated wire coil. Well, that's a new one on me. Yeah, ordinarily you'd string up these wire coils, and if I was being pure about this, I'd string them up between like generators and such, and run the machines off them. But you ever hear the expression, why walk when you can run? It's the exact opposite of the expression, why stand when you can sit. Aha! Yeah, there we go. Let me see that. I think those 2 bucketfuls should cover the spread there. Except I need the QIO system for wood. So that's 4 sets instead of 8. There we go. And then the steel thingy at the center, and there, 1 water wheel, which will also connect to a kinetic dynamo. And as a reward, you get more insulated low voltage wire, which you would presumably string up. Oh, and I got treated wood too, that's good. Did I also get... Yeah, I must have gotten iron mechanical components, because now I'm backed up to 6 of them again. Okay. Next, the thermoelectric generator, which uses a heat... Well, apparently it uses a block... It has a block of uranium. I wonder why. Maybe that's in the book. Let's see. Thermoelectric... Here it is. So yeah, I need more copper. Dang. Without the generation of any mechanical parts. Does it say anything about... Oh, it does! You can use the uranium blocks as a source of temperature. So... I guess if you put the uranium blocks and the blue ice around around the generator, like one on one side, one on the other, then you'll get the most amount of power, or at least what they give you in the rewards is the most amount of power. I don't think I'm going to demonstrate it though. I mean, I'm getting 500 and... Oh, it seems to have topped out around half a mega FE here. That's good. I mean, it's going to take a really long time to get through 2,048 buckets at least. Okay, well, Now that the production line is finished, I'm going to reassign a new task. Let's see. Yeah, there's a pig there. And I'm afraid he's in the nether portal room, and all he really has to do is go back through the portal to get out of it. While this is digging around, have a look at the sign I put up. Really dangerous there. I speak from experience. The nether is a really nasty place. That's part of the engineer's decor, by the way. I adapted some of the old, some of the signs I got when I built the fusion reactor and the lasers for it. You can sort of swap the signs around. It's not like Z-tones, but it's close, because in Z-tones, you actually move the mouse wheel to create different designs. Or at least to shuffle through different subcategories of the same design, something like that. Okay, yeah, another unusual move, but I won't want for copper again, and besides, I've got a lot of hydrogen chloride, and it's really easy to make oxygen. You just use electrolysis, and I got an electrolysis machine in the machine room. So I'm going to need 4 copper ingots. So I think I'm going to need 4 copper ingots. Yeah, okay. 4 of them. There we go. Yeah, I know. It doesn't really matter whether if I turn that thing on or off. But so thermoelectric generators require 3 steel, which I have, and 5 Constantan plates, which I don't, but I've got copper dust. Now that reminds me what I ought to do. I ought to wait for the smelting thing the energized smelter to fill up on both sides, and then grab 64 copper dust. What am I thinking here? And 64 copper ingots. Okay, there we go. And you can mix them all into a nice blend there. And smelt them right here in this thing. And then we're going to take all but one of them and put them in this multi-circle press. And while we're busy doing that, let's take one of our iron mechanical components to make the central copper wire block here. Oh wait, I was thinking of the kinetic dynamo. That's what was going on. I mean, the coil is just the coil. I keep mixing up my toolboxes. Okay, done. And now the thermoelectric generator. And somehow I managed to... but uranium is necessary for other things too. So I'm going to nix that. Let's put that uranium here for now. I was never entirely sure what uranium was used for in immersive engineering, but I guess this is one use of it.